Picture a fine veil that separates two distinct realities. In one realm, you have the boundless space where consciousness exists as pure light. In the other, you find our tangible world, where physical forms are built one cell at a time inside a mother's embrace. This boundary marks one of the most profound enigmas of our journey here, the precise instant a soul merges with its body. Reflect on your own beginning. Can you recall the moment your own awareness sparked to life? It's impossible. Similarly, the soul's arrival occurs on planes of existence that are beyond our ordinary senses. It is a fusion event that unfolds across the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels all at once, presenting a beautiful complexity that no straightforward explanation can capture. The ancient Egyptians proposed this moment was tied to the alignment of specific stars. The wise Greeks talked about a divine inhalation that brought inanimate material to life. In Hindu wisdom, it is a gradual journey where various facets of the soul secure themselves within the body at different times. Every culture crafted its own intricate framework to explain this sacred mystery. But here is the truly incredible insight. All of these ancient traditions find common ground on one idea. A definite point in time exists, a sacred moment when a profound shift occurs. This isn't a blurry or gradual process. It is a genuine event distinguished by faint signals that can be read by those attuned to see them. Neurological scientists have noted that a fetus's brain waves exhibit unique patterns that cannot be explained by physical growth alone. Physicists theorize about states of awareness that operate outside of solid matter. Psychologists present cases of young children showing clear personality traits from their earliest days. What adds another layer to this enigma is that countless mothers share tales of uncanny experiences during their pregnancy's real dreams, powerful energetic feelings, moments of intense unity that define a clear before and after, as if the cosmos whispered, "The time is now." Certain mystical teachings suggest that a soul is not just put inside a body, but it deliberately chooses the right time for this great transition. This implies every entry is a singular, customized event that happens at the most divinely perfect time for that individual consciousness. Prepare yourself for an exploration that will make you question everything you believed about life's origins. We'll look at 3 distinct moments, 3 compelling theories, 3 radically different perspectives on when the soul makes its grand entrance into the human vessel. For ages, these viewpoints have sparked debate not just among spiritual seekers, but also among thinkers, religious scholars, and even researchers. Each one is backed by its own internal logic, particular proofs, and deep consequences for how we see conscious existence. The first model is the union at conception. This perspective, held by many Christian faiths and certain mystical schools, proposes that in the very instant the sperm joins the egg, the soul secures itself in the new form. It is as though the cosmos holds its breath for this cellular union to flash the green light for awareness. Supporters of this idea believe that from the first moment, a distinct energetic pattern emerges, a vibrational frequency that was not present before. Imagine the immense magnetic pull that must be present in that fraction of a second. 2 cells, holding the genetic sagas of entire family lines, merge in a microscopic flash of potential. For advocates of this viewpoint, it's inconceivable that such a momentous event could unfold without the soul's direct involvement. They reference stories of mothers having powerful dreams on the very night they conceived, or feeling immediate energetic shifts in their being, as if a core part of them had just realigned. The second model is the connection at implantation. Now, we are considering the point when the tiny embryo embeds itself into the uterine lining, which typically happens 6 to 12 days post-conception. This school of thinking believes that only when the embryo creates a tangible link with the mother's system can the soul truly anchor itself. It's almost like the spirit needs a confirmed physical address to finally move in. Those who champion this theory highlight an intriguing biological fact. It is precisely during this embedding process that the hormones signaling pregnancy start to be released. They see this not as a coincidence, but as the chemical announcement that a new consciousness has just taken up residence. Many indigenous shamanic traditions describe this time frame as a dialogue between the incoming spirit and the body that is its new home, a delicate negotiation that requires several days to be finalized. The third model, which may be the most lyrical, is the union at the first heartbeat. This usually occurs near the third week of gestation, when a tiny organ, no bigger than a poppy seed, starts to pulse with its own unique beat. For those who follow this perspective, this is the very instant the soul breathes literal life into the physical form. The heart has universally been seen as the soul's throne across innumerable cultures. Egyptians, Greeks, and Chinese all regarded the heart as far more than just a muscle. It was the hub of awareness, the bridge between the spiritual and the material. When that small embryonic heart first flutters, it is as if the spirit announces, "I have arrived. I am present. I am here for this life." The fascination with these theories stems from the compelling proof each one presents. Mothers from diverse spiritual paths share stories of mystical events that align perfectly with these three distinct stages. Some sense the soul's energy from the very first days. Others describe a feeling like someone has come home right around the time of implantation. And many more identify the first heartbeat as a moment of powerful energetic transformation. But consider a possibility that could unite everything. What if all these frameworks are simultaneously true? Could the soul's arrival not be one single moment, but a multi-step journey? Some higher esoteric schools teach exactly this concept, different dimensions of the soul tethering at different points in time. First, the spark of vitality arrives, followed by the emotional essence, and finally, the full consciousness settles in. This multi-layered approach would account for why different individuals report such a wide variety of experiences, and why each theory has its own dedicated followers and sets of evidence. What unfolds in the initial 40 days, the consecrated period, the number 40. This figure shows up in nearly every major spiritual tradition across the globe with a remarkable consistency that cannot be simple chance. You see it in the 40 days and nights of rain for Noah's Ark. You find it in the 40 years of wandering in the desert for the Israelites. You note the 40 days of Jesus' fast in the wilderness. There are the 40 days of Buddha's deep meditation beneath the Bodhi tree. And when we consider the soul's fusion with the human form, the first 40 days of development stand out as an incredibly sacred and transformative window. So why that specific number? The answer seems to be rooted in the rhythmic cycles of creation itself. 40 signifies a whole cycle of deep spiritual metamorphosis, enough duration for significant changes to lock in permanently. In the context of pregnancy, it is within this exact time frame that the most foundational shifts in embryonic formation happen. It's almost as if the cosmos operates on a holy timetable for bringing conscious life into being. Within the first 40 days of gestation, developments take place that appear to be following a cosmic blueprint. The first week holds conception and the first instances of cellular multiplication. The second and third weeks see the embryo embed itself and the beginnings of crucial organs forming. In the fourth week, the initial heartbeat appears, and each following week adds new, specific milestones that create the very bedrock of conscious existence. Mystical traditions teach that throughout these first 40 days, there is a non-stop dialogue between the arriving consciousness and the spiritual source from which it came. Imagine an energetic lifeline that links the new being to higher planes, which permits final calibrations and readies it for a complete embodiment. Many mothers share accounts of exceptional experiences that occur precisely in this early stage vibrant. Lucid dreams where they encounter their baby spirit, potent feelings of a presence at specific moments, abrupt shifts in their intuition and sensory awareness. A mother once shared with me that during her initial 40 days of being pregnant, she would awaken at the very same hour each night, feeling a distinct sense that someone was there to see her. A fascinating numerological connection also exists. 40 days is about 5 weeks and 5 days. In the sacred study of numbers, 5 symbolizes the expression of divine intention on the material plane. We have 5 senses, 5 core elements, the 5 points of a star, which stands for the complete person. It is as though, during this time, the spirit is progressively integrating the 5 key facets that will enable its total expression in our tangible reality. Eastern wisdom describes this phase as the time of the first spiritual inhalation. This is not the physical breath, which will not occur until birth, but an energetic one, the point where the soul starts to breathe in the material journey and breathe out its spiritual signature into the new form. It is a process of steady acclimatization, much like a diver who descends slowly to adjust to the crushing pressure of the ocean's depths. From a biological growth standpoint, the initial 40 days are absolutely miraculous. This is when the central nervous system, the heart, the basic structure of the limbs, and the main sensory organs all come into being. It's as though the spirit is personally supervising the building of its new vessel, making sure every single detail is correct for the great journey it has planned. Some mystical schools propose that it's during this phase that the soul finalizes its agreements with its own destiny. This includes decisions about the lessons it is coming to master, the obstacles it will navigate, and the unique abilities it will offer the world. It's akin to a last planning session, right before taking the full plunge into the human adventure. What makes this phase even more unique is that it almost always unfolds before the mother even has a conscious realization that she is pregnant. It feels as if the soul prefers to complete this foundational work in privacy, getting fully established before revealing its arrival to the physical world. At the 40-day mark, according to numerous traditions, the spirit has made its ultimate commitment. It is fully invested in this lifetime. Its primary energetic bonds are now in place. This signals the end of the trial run and the true start of its journey of unfolding and growing. For those who understand this ancient knowledge, the first 40 days are a sacred time for reflection and for intentionally connecting with the incoming spirit. It is a period of preparing not just physically, but also spiritually, emotionally, and energetically to welcome this new being that chose your family for its worldly path. The universe rarely does anything in silence. When a spirit joins with a human form, it scatters clues, signals, and energetic imprints that can be felt by those who are open to perceiving. They are subtle, yet consistent communications that mothers across every culture and spiritual path have shared. Think of them as small, daily miracles that announce a new awareness has just arrived on the scene. The first and most widely reported sign is remarkable dreams. I am not referring to typical, everyday dreams, but rather experiences in sleep that possess a totally different character. They are clearer, more lifelike, and filled with profound significance. A great number of mothers share that they dreamed of their baby's spirit before they even knew they were expecting. These are dreams where a bright, luminous being might show up, where a gentle voice reveals its arrival, or where particular symbols appear again and again. One mother shared that 3 days before she learned she was pregnant, she had a dream of a garden bursting with golden flowers. In her dream, a small child was playing among the blossoms and said to her, "Mom, I picked you." The feeling upon waking was so powerful and real that she found herself looking around her home as if a child were actually there. 2 days after that, a pregnancy test confirmed what her spirit had already understood. Another powerful signal is an abrupt change in energetic awareness. Women who previously never gave a thought to energies may start to sense presences, feel shifts in the atmosphere, and tune into the vibrations of people and locations with stunning precision. It is as if the spirit's arrival has amplified the mother's own energetic antennas, getting her ready for the refined communication that will continue throughout the pregnancy. Meaningful coincidences also seem to happen with incredible frequency. Numbers that repeat constantly, chance meetings with individuals who deliver very specific messages, books that seem to fly off shelves holding the exact wisdom needed. Songs that start playing at just the right time with words that feel like a direct response to a question. It is as if the whole of existence is working together to validate and honor the arrival of this new consciousness. Then you have the phenomenon of physical shifts that can't be explained away. Some mothers talk about changes in taste that go beyond hormonal effects, a sudden dislike for foods they once cherished, or a deep craving for things they have never eaten, almost as if the incoming spirit is already shaping the preferences and desires of its physical vehicle. A uniquely fascinating sign involves shifts in how time is perceived. Many women report a feeling that time either stood still or changed in its quality at a distinct moment in the very early stages of their pregnancy. It feels like there's an energetic bookmark that separates life into a clear before and an after. This point in time doesn't always line up with the physical act of conception, but rather with the energetic fusion of the soul. Altered relationships with animals are also a common report. Family pets that were once distant or reserved may suddenly become deeply protective and affectionate with their owner. Cats might start to knead on a belly that is still perfectly flat. Dogs may bark at seemingly nothing in the area around the mother's womb. It's as though animals, with their heightened natural senses, are the very first to register the new energetic field. Some seasoned mothers mention specific bodily sensations that are different from typical pregnancy symptoms. A sense of fullness that isn't related to the belly's size, but to an energetic occupation, or a fine, almost imperceptible thrumming that some call a very soft hum of life, felt more with the spirit than with the body. You also see the phenomenon of an amplified maternal intuition. Women may suddenly just know things about a baby that is not even fully developed yet. They may sense their temperament, their likes and dislikes, or even personality qualities that won't show up for many years, as if the spirit is sending information about itself directly to its mother's awareness. The most incredible part is that these signs are not unusual or rare. They occur with remarkable consistency, but are frequently dismissed or explained away by other things. Our materialistic worldview has trained us to disregard these happenings as products of imagination or hormones. But when we start to pay attention, when we truly open ourselves to what we can perceive, we find that existence is constantly providing us with evidence of the sacred nature of the life that is on its way. Before we move on, I want to extend an invitation to you for the Quantum Thinking Challenge. This is a 21-day program where you will recalibrate your mind, elevate your vibration, and unlock your true intuitive power. For 3 weeks, you'll receive daily exercises to shift your frequency and begin to notice the subtle signals the universe is constantly sending. The first people to join have already described a completely new level of energetic awareness that is changing their reality. Are you ready to activate yours? You can get access through the first pinned comment. While the West continues to debate the exact timing of the soul's entry, the East has cultivated a far more intricate and detailed picture of how this journey unfolds. In Hinduism, the soul, or Atman, does not just appear in the body. It descends through multiple layers of being, traveling through 7 vibrational planes until it fully settles into the physical dimension. This journey is referred to as Sapapatala, or the 7 descents of consciousness. Each descent signifies the soul wrapping itself in a new layer of energy, much like a person putting on more clothes to handle increasingly colder climates. The first descent occurs at the moment of conception, as the divine life spark makes its initial touch with physical matter. However, this is just the beginning spark. The descents that follow are linked to the formation of the major chakras, the construction of the energy body, and the locking in of karmic bonds. It is only around the 4th month of gestation that the Atman fully anchors, carrying with it the entire history of its past lives and the unique mission for this lifetime. Buddhism provides an even more specific viewpoint with the idea of the Bardo Sidpa, which is the transitional state that exists between death and a new birth. According to Tibetan wisdom, the consciousness that is preparing to reincarnate moves through and in between phase that can be as long as 49 days. During this time, it reviews different potential births until it locates the womb that presents the ideal conditions for its karmic journey. But here lies the truly remarkable detail. The consciousness doesn't merely pick and then enter. It first builds an energetic link with its future parents, gently guiding the events that will ultimately result in conception. It's as if it acts as an unseen director, arranging the situations that will pave the way for its return to this world. Only after it has confirmed that all the necessary conditions are perfectly in place does it make its final entrance. Taoism presents what might be the most beautifully poetic vision. In this tradition, every soul is like a single drop of rain that takes shape in the great clouds of the Tao, the ultimate source from which all things originate. Throughout gestation, this individual drop slowly gathers density until it is prepared to fall into the material realm. Yet even after it is born, it holds on to an unseen thread connected back to the clouds of its origin. The Taoists talk about three spiritual aspects of the soul, known as the Han, that merge with the body at different points. The first Han joins at conception, providing the basic life force. The second Han comes in around the third month, contributing personality and deep emotions. The third Han does not fully manifest until the moment of birth, bringing with it spiritual insight and a connection back to the Tao. This tiered perspective clarifies why Eastern wisdom holds certain phases of gestation to be exceptionally sacred. It's not simply a question of physical formation, but of the step-by-step anchoring of various aspects of consciousness. Each month signifies a new energetic integration, another layer of spiritual richness taking form. The common thread in all these traditions is the recognition that the soul is not a singular thing, but rather a complex tapestry of energies, memories, intentions, and bonds. When we speak of its entry into a body, what we are really describing is a spiritual data transfer that unfolds in distinct phases. Eastern philosophies have created advanced practices to support and ease this process. There are specific mantras for each trimester of pregnancy, meditations designed to help a mother harmonize with the incoming spirit, and rituals that cultivate an energetic space that is favorable for the complete anchoring of a new consciousness. Please share in the comments below which of these Eastern viewpoints resonates most deeply with you. The gradual descent found in Hinduism, the conscious selection of Buddhism, or the natural gathering of Taoism. When people consider Christianity and the soul, their thoughts often turn to the official doctrines of the Church. But there is a far deeper, more mystical current known as esoteric Christianity, which has offered incredible insights into when and how a spirit joins the human form. These insights come to us from mystics, saints, and seers who had first-hand encounters with the profound mysteries of incarnation. Saint Hildegard of Bingen, a remarkable German mystic from the 12th century, received highly detailed visions about this very process. In her journals, she explains how she witnessed the soul descending from the core of God, appearing as a golden ray of light that slowly took form until it met the developing body. Based on what she saw, this union does not take place at conception, but rather when the embryo has developed enough spiritual readiness to welcome the divine essence. Hildegard perceived that the soul arrives with three special gifts: life itself, Vitalis, which energizes the physical form, wisdom, sapientia, which makes knowing possible, and love, caritas, which enables connection to the divine and to fellow humans. Each of these gifts secures itself in the body at separate times during gestation, constructing progressive layers of awareness. The apocryphal Gospels, which are early Christian writings not included in the official Bible, hold fascinating clues about this subject. The Gospel of Philip discusses the moment the Holy Spirit shelters the newly forming being with its wings, which points to a specific instant when the soul becomes sealed within its physical vessel. This moment, it is said, would be marked by signs that are only perceptible to those with their spiritual senses open. Meister Eckhart, the celebrated German mystic, explained that a soul does not come into a body like liquid being poured into a jar, but more like a flame that gradually ignites another flame. His teachings refer to a journey of spiritual ignition, where the divine spark within every soul awakens matter and brings it to conscious life. It is as if the spirit is the match and the body is the candle. The meeting of the two gives birth to a brand new light. The Desert Fathers, the very first Christian monks who ventured into Egypt to seek direct mystical connection, left behind written accounts of their visions of incarnation. Saint Anthony of Egypt noted seeing, during a period of intense prayer, the instant a soul donned a body much like a person puts on an outfit. But this outfit was not just slipped on. It was carefully woven around the spirit by angelic beings whose entire purpose was this sacred task. These hidden Christian traditions understood that three distinct bodies were being created at the same time: the physical body, which is seen, the etheric body, which is energy, and the astral body, which is emotion. The soul is required to connect with all three of them to make its incarnation complete. This journey starts with the etheric body in the first few weeks, moves on to the astral body in the second trimester, and only finalizes its connection to the physical body at the time of birth. Saint Terresa of Avila, during her most profound mystical states, reported seeing what she named the chambers of the soul. According to her visions, every soul contains 7 inner rooms, and throughout pregnancy, these rooms are illuminated in succession. The full sequence was said to take exactly 280 days, which is the average duration of a human pregnancy. Each separate chamber relates to a facet of awareness that comes online gradually. The Christian Gnostics, a mystical movement from the earliest centuries, held a view that was even more intricate. They believed that a soul traveled through 12 celestial realms before it arrived at the physical body. In each of these realms, it was given a particular garment, which represented qualities, abilities, and karmic tests. The amount of time it took to journey through all the realms would dictate the precise timing of its entry into its earthly form. Jacob Bohemim, the German mystic known as the Teutonic philosopher, had visions of what he called the spiritual tincture. This was a fine essence that the spirit would leave within the body at the moment of its entry. This tincture was believed to be responsible not just for life, but for the unique personality of every individual. Bohemim believed that highly sensitive mothers could feel the exact moment this tincture was imparted through a sense of divine sweetness that filled their entire being. Emmanuel Swedenborg, the visionary from Sweden, provided a detailed description of what he witnessed regarding the soul's arrival. He said that a silver cord exists, which is an energetic tether that connects a soul to the spirit worlds for its entire life on earth. This cord gets established at the point of incarnation and stays connected until physical death. Swedenborg asserted that individuals with trained spiritual sight could actually see this cord as a faint line of light that links every person to higher planes of existence. The common element among all these Christian mystics is the idea that incarnation is a journey that is supported by spiritual guides, angels, archangels, or the Holy Spirit itself. It is not an event that happens on its own, but rather a holy occasion orchestrated by celestial forces. Every soul is guided on its journey downward, shielded during the anchoring phase, and continues to get spiritual support for the duration of its earthly life. This esoteric side of Christianity presents a deeply rich and poetic outlook on the soul's entry, where every new life is regarded as an expression of divine love, a sacred chance for spiritual evolution, and a momentous event that calls upon heavenly powers to support the new consciousness arriving in the physical world. Dr. Peter Heer at Queen's University Belfast led groundbreaking studies that have fundamentally altered how we see the emergence of consciousness. His work demonstrated that fetuses as young as 18 weeks old already show preferences for specific types of music, can identify their mother's voice, and even have different responses to emotional cues. But the thing that truly astonished the scientific world was the realization that these reactions could not be explained just by neurological growth. What the research pointed to was even more remarkable. Fetuses exhibit clear personalities long before their nervous systems are fully developed. Some are noticeably more active, while others are more serene. Certain ones react strongly to classical compositions, while others seem to favor gentler melodies, almost as if each one arrives with a distinct signature of consciousness that expresses itself apart from brain development. Dr. Joseph Benvvenuto, a neuroscientist from Italy, has recorded instances of fetal memory that challenge every standard explanation. He has found children aged 2 to 3 who can accurately recall things that took place during gestation, specific discussions between their parents, certain songs that were played, and even fine details about the places their mother visited. By our current models of how memories are made, these recollections shouldn't be possible, yet they do exist and have been verified. Dr. Catherine Monk at Columbia University made stunning discoveries about the emotional connection between a mother and her fetus. Her work has revealed that a fetal heart rate fluctuates not just based on the mother's physical condition, but also in sync with her most subtle thoughts and feelings. It suggests a constant, non-verbal communication is occurring between two separate consciousnesses that inhabit the same physical body. But maybe the most paradigm-shifting finding is from research on biophotonic fields, led by Dr. Fritz Albert Pop in Germany. His studies demonstrated that living cells give off a very faint field of light, biophotons, which seems to hold complex data. During pregnancy, this light field around the fetus shows unique patterns that do not align with what one would expect from simple cellular activity. It's as if another light source is shining from within the developing being. Japanese research on spontaneous genetic activation by Dr. Kazuo Murakami has provided even more compelling clues. His group found that during particular stages of pregnancy, certain genes switch on without any clear physical cause. These specific genes are tied to higher level thinking, creativity, and even spiritual insight, almost as if an external set of instructions were activating specific functions in the genetic programming. Modern neuroscience now recognizes what is termed the critical 25-week period. Around this point in gestation, there's an abrupt surge in the formation of neural connections that can't be explained by brain growth alone. Dr. Luca Tomasi from the University of Chieti has referred to this event as the instant the fetal brain appears to link up with a broader information field. The brainwave activity changes radically, displaying patterns that are very similar to those seen in long-term meditators. Recent research into intrauterine interactions has shown that twins create non-verbal communication methods while still in the womb. They respond to each other's movements and feelings in ways that are impossible to explain by just their physical closeness. Dr. Marissa Elod Tion in Spain has recorded situations where twins appear to work out their positioning within the womb through synchronized movements that are far too coordinated to be dismissed as mere chance. But where does free will fit into this picture? Does the spirit get to choose when it comes in? According to the most advanced spiritual teachings, long before physical conception ever takes place, the soul has already started a detailed journey of preparation and design. It looks at available family trees, it assesses the karmic lessons it needs to address, it considers the special gifts it hopes to nurture, and it plans the contributions it wants to make. It's much like a scholar who selects not only the university, but also the major, the teachers, and even the fellow students. Dr. Michael Newton, through countless sessions of hypnotherapy regression, has collected consistent accounts of souls detailing this very selection process. His work suggests that souls collaborate with councils of highly evolved guides to plan the ideal timing for every single lifetime. This is not a rash choice. It's the outcome of detailed planning that considers cosmic, astrological, familial, and individual factors. Yet, even after picking a family and creating an energetic agreement with its future parents, the soul holds the power to choose the exact moment of its arrival. It's as if it gets to watch the first weeks of embryonic growth before making its final decision to stay. During this window, it checks if the circumstances are truly in harmony with its higher mission. This perspective helps explain why certain pregnancies end in their early stages for no clear medical reason. In this light, it wouldn't be a biological misstep, but a conscious choice made by the soul that the time wasn't quite right, or that the environment wasn't ideal for its unique purpose. This is a viewpoint that brings a measure of peace to many parents who have gone through pregnancy loss, as it provides a wider, more meaningful context for these deeply personal events. The selection of the exact entry point is not random. Higher astrological wisdom teaches that every soul will wait for particular planetary alignments that resonate with its life's mission. This suggests a soul might hold off its entry for days or even weeks if the celestial patterns are not favorable. Or it might speed up its arrival if an especially beneficial alignment is on the horizon. A great number of parents have shared dreams or mystical visions where the spirit of their future child came to them before they even conceived, sharing when they plan to arrive and the kind of life they hope to experience with that family. These meetings take place on subtle energetic levels, but they leave behind vivid and specific recollections. Dr. Sarah Hinz has collected hundreds of these stories in her writings about children arriving from a spiritual plane. Parents get visits in their dreams from children who identify themselves as their future son or daughter, offering details about their character, clarifying why they picked that specific family, and even giving clues about when they hope to be born. This model of the soul as a proactive creator of its own life establishes a mutual responsibility between the parents and the child from the very moment of conception. The parents are no longer just passive conduits, but are instead conscious collaborators, in partnership with a spirit that has deliberately chosen to grow with them. To grasp that your child made a specific choice to be with you, with a full awareness of both your strengths and your struggles, completely changes the experience of being a parent. Every single challenge is now a shared opportunity for growth. Every tough moment becomes a lesson planned together for the evolution of everyone involved. The soul comes into the body at the moment it has determined it is prepared. It enters when all the conditions are perfectly aligned, and when the cosmic timing is ideal for its unique mission. It is never an accident, and it is never a coincidence. It is a deliberate decision made by an intelligent consciousness that is fully aware of what it's doing and why. This perspective invites every one of us to look at each pregnancy as a holy event where three distinct intentions, father, mother, and baby's soul, come together to jointly create a new conscious experience of life here on planet Earth.